For the past 4 months, my spouse has been tirelessly working on a critical project at Bixler Enterprises, where she serves as the main point of contact. This endeavor, crucial for the company's survival, was not her personal initiative, but one she took the lead on. If successful, it could prevent the collapse of Bixler Enterprises. My wife possesses a bachelor's degree from Albright and an MBA from Wharton, making her the intellectual powerhouse in our family. In contrast, I have been an auto mechanic for 21 years, a profession I enjoy and that provides us with a comfortable living to fund my wife's education and raise our children. Now that our kids have moved out, our financial situation has been steady. Although we may not live extravagantly, we are content. Sarah conceived 3 months post our wedding at 18 years old. For the initial years of marriage, we dwelled with my parents, as 4 of my siblings had relocated. This arrangement offered us a built-in babysitter while Sarah pursued the early years of her college education. Due to 2 pregnancies, her 4-year degree extended to 6 years. It was challenging, but she persevered. Throughout this period, I maintained employment and took on overtime whenever necessary. Upon Sarah's graduation from Wharton, we leased our own residence. She received job offers from numerous prominent firms, but they all necessitated relocation. Though not averse, Sarah wished to remain near home. Consequently, she opted for employment at Bixler Enterprises, which offered lucrative compensation and ample opportunities for advancement. Sarah proved to be a diligent and committed worker. The presentation is on Thursday at the Radisson Hotel in Philadelphia. I have scheduled a few days off work to provide assistance as required. In essence, my efforts only extended to preparing a meal upon her return home. I remained oblivious to details of her profession and had little interest. High-level corporate business held no appeal. Visitors from Europe, Asia, and South America graced our presence. Their airfare and accommodation at the Radisson Hotel were courtesy of the company. The expenditure was exorbitant, and based on Sarah's comments, the company seemed to overestimate its financial resources. Her presentation held significant importance for her, the company, and over 200 employees. Until Tuesday evening, everything progressed smoothly. Upon returning home, she donned a new suit gray with a white blouse. She methodically arranged all necessary items on the bed in the guest room. While orderly in household matters, she was fastidious when it came to work-related tasks. I didn't comprehend why she needed her fine lingerie for this occasion, but I chose not to voice my confusion. Besides her preparatory attire for the event, she owned several adorable mini cocktail dresses for pre- and post-event social functions. I had customarily shunned such gatherings, yet felt compelled to attend if she desired my presence. She expressed gratitude for my offer, but deemed it unnecessary. All her essential materials and tools were meticulously stored in the trunk of her Volvo prior to her departure from work. She drove the vehicle herself to ensure everything was pristine. She had the entire Wednesday to prepare herself and the whole evening of the same day to mingle with her guests. Sarah excelled at her profession, which made me believe that my presence could have been detrimental rather than helpful. Ultimately, she finished her preparations. She had verified and rechecked everything. All she required now was a warm shower and a restful sleep. I suppose my error lay in inspecting her belongings after Sarah started taking a shower, thinking I was assisting, when in fact it proved counterproductive. While rearranging items on the bed, a compact white envelope slipped from her cosmetic bag's side pocket. The envelope, not typically found at a drugstore, contained 10 pills. Unfamiliar with Preven, the instructions seemed perplexing. They suggested taking 1 pill followed by another 12 hours later if needed. I speculated it could be related to anxiety or stress, but the directions were unclear. Her prescription for Preven was dated on Monday. Upon her exit from the shower, I returned the envelope to its place. Contemplating whether to investigate Preven prior to disclosing it, I had reservations. After all, discussing it would imply snooping through her belongings. Dilemmas are troublesome. As Sarah prepared for bed, I navigated to our home computer and searched Preven. Subsequently, I joined my wife under the covers 10 minutes later. Sleepless through the night, I pondered over the mystery of my wife obtaining the morning after pill, a puzzlement heightened by our shared 10-year past since my vasectomy. As dawn broke, I awoke weary instead of refreshed and embarked on a protracted walk to clear my thoughts. With apprehension gnawing at me, I approached home, dreading the potential confrontation ahead. My son Josh had enlisted in the Navy Post High School and was in his freshman year in San Diego. Our daughter Gloria got married to her high school sweetheart last year and recently moved to Dallas. This left just Sarah and me. The absence of our children evoked a longing, yet I eagerly anticipated sharing the golden years with my wife. She was the only woman who had ever captured my attention, but now it seemed everything was unraveling. If Sarah was secretively having an affair, she managed to conceal it effectively. I had never scrutinized her emails or phone conversations. I had no reason to, nor any clue about her activities at work or afterwards. I placed complete trust in her. John, why have you vanished all of a sudden? Are you in need of eggs or something else? Not really, just coffee. I wasn't particularly chatty today. What's troubling you, dear? It's only for 3 days. You're welcome to join if you wish, but you might find yourself quite bored. No, I have no desire to go, yet I dislike leaving you alone. I get anxious when you're absent. That's very thoughtful of you, sweetheart, but it will be fine. I won't be leaving the hotel for the entire duration. Most of today, I'll be ensuring the conference room is ready, and tonight I'll have an engaging conversation with prospective clients. Tomorrow, I may not even get a chance to use the restroom. I'll return home as soon as possible on Friday. I promise a fantastic weekend awaits if you catch my drift. Yet, it's understandable that you worry. As an auto mechanic, and with a stunningly successful wife, such feelings arise occasionally. It seems like your focus on career advancement overshadows our family situation sometimes. Stop it, John. Enough already. Your profession has always earned my admiration, never prompting any critique from me. You've nurtured 2 exceptional children and supported me through college. Remember, you are an excellent partner, a dedicated father, and a reliable provider. I finished my coffee as she cleared the table. Shall I call you? No, that wouldn't be advisable. I'll switch off my cell phone and disconnect my room phone for the night to get some rest. I'll reach out whenever possible. I assisted her in loading the car. As she is with everything work-related, she was meticulous about it. It would take her 3 hours to reach the Radisson Hotel. I stood on the porch and watched her depart. I refrained from asking about the pills. The rest of the morning was spent on the porch. I can't recall ever being as worried as I am now. I felt inconsequential, almost insignificant. I felt outclassed. As a small-town resident with an average job and a thriving spouse, our dynamic was a mismatch. I should have recognized it sooner. Feeling rather unintelligent, my best attire consisted of a blue blazer and matching pants. At least I had a few ties, though they were a decade old. Moments after finishing dressing up, the landline phone rang. "Sweetie, just wanted to let you know I arrived safely," she said. "Your drive was good. The traffic was fine." She promised to call later. I need to go now. I'm in room 714. She suggested spending the night at her parents' or her brother's if I wished to contact her on her cell phone. My cell phone rang next, and she expressed her love before hanging up. I took my time reaching Philadelphia. Before heading to the Radisson, I stopped for a steak and cheese sandwich. Anticipating a lengthy night ahead, I was unsure of what to do. I parked in the hotel garage and waited, hesitating to enter the hotel. The ringing of my cell phone helped me make up my mind. John, she informed me that everything had settled. I'm heading downstairs for a meeting with some individuals and dinner. Haven't you forgotten anything by chance? Everything seems to be in order. All my necessities are packed for tomorrow. Do you require something? No, John, please relax. I'll switch off my phone. I'll call you tomorrow morning. Sounds good, chuckles, enjoy yourself. It's not amusement, John, it's work. I didn't stand out excessively. The lobby, restaurant, and conference rooms were bustling with people, allowing me to blend in easily. There was a charming brochure that detailed the layout of all the hotel rooms. I explored various rooms, standing near walls while surveying the crowd. If Sarah spots me, I'm unsure how I would respond. I'll discover when and if that happens. An event board displayed the rooms occupied by different groups. Bixler Enterprises had no vacancies for Wednesday night. This detail intrigued me. Initially, Sarah had indicated she wouldn't depart from the hotel, but I began to doubt that. The establishment boasted 3 dining areas: family style, casual, and upscale dining. Given her dislike for dining with children, I first visited the casual area. It took mere minutes to ascertain that she wasn't present there. However, I found success in the gourmet lounge. Tucked away in a corner was a snug booth, often reserved for intimate encounters. Sarah, adorned in a sleek black cocktail dress with a plunging neckline and pearls, exuded elegance and seemed to be enjoying the company of an appreciative man. I recognized some of her colleagues, but this individual was not among them. Though familiar, I couldn't recall him. With numerous vacant seats, navigating the room posed no challenge. The tables were adorned with candles and small glass holders. I extinguished my candle, informing the waiter it troubled my glaucoma. I opted for my customary chicken dish and settled in comfortably. For the third time, the waiter filled my coffee cup. I noticed a man at a nearby table who seemed oddly familiar. Do you recognize him? Indeed, that's Malcolm Eugene Foote. He's a town meeting member and is rumored to run for Congress soon. Is that his wife with him? She certainly is attractive. However, this appears to be their first encounter. He frequently invites special women to sit at that table. I simply gave him a smile and requested the bill. Sarah had never exhibited such sensual behavior with a man before. She seemed captivated by every word he spoke, as if he were some divine figure. While they weren't engaging in any improper conduct, their interaction was neither platonic nor businesslike. As they finished their second bottle of wine, I understood why she had dressed up in that expensive lingerie. I settled into a cozy corner of the lobby to remain unnoticed. 10 minutes later, they exited the restaurant. She held his hand as they crossed the lobby and headed for the elevator. I closely monitored the elevator readouts. The fact that it halted on the 3rd floor was a positive indication. It implied she hadn't taken him to her room. However, if the elevator skipped the 7th floor, it meant she went to his room, which was concerning. To ensure my assumptions were incorrect, I waited in the lobby for an hour watching the elevator, but Sarah did not appear. Retrieving my empty luggage from the car, I approached the front desk. Despite my ability to prove our marital status, obtaining a key card was difficult. They eventually granted me one after contacting the room, but no one answered. With the key card in hand, I headed towards room 714. Initially, I remained in the dark room for over an hour without turning on the lights. It was straightforward to ensure she wouldn't return. First, I gathered all her clothes and personal items, leaving nothing behind. There were still 10 pills left in the Prevent package. On the dresser, meticulously arranged, sat all the necessities for her upcoming presentation. I proceeded to pack the suitcase. Inside were 24 promotional folders specially bound and another 20 regular folders. Each one was carefully packed into the suitcase. A digital projector went in next, followed by a laptop. I collected her purse and cell phone left behind in the room. All she carried with her was a clutch and likely a lipstick tube. I took my time to ensure I didn't miss anything as I did, walking around the room with the same care. Once assured, I placed her car keys and my wedding ring on the dresser. The room stood empty except for those 2 items. The elevator smoothly descended towards the parking garage. I effortlessly managed 2 suitcases and found myself on the expressway heading north within 20 minutes. It was past 3 in the morning, and I had underestimated the passage of time. An hour or 2 later, my cell phone rang. The caller ID displayed the number of the Radisson Hotel. "John, where are you?" "I'll be home shortly." That was all I said. There was silence on the other end of the call. Salespeople often say that the one who speaks first loses. It felt like an eternity before she responded. "John, I apologize." She didn't inquire about anything and simply hung up. I turned off my phone. It was clear that she had returned to her room. Later that day, she was set to give a presentation that would save her company and secure a promotion for herself. I stowed my luggage in the attic of the garage. Sarah never ventured there or thought to look for anything there. Of course, by this point, it probably made no difference. First, I collected all my clothes and personal items. Most men are expected to own tools for their work. I stopped by the store, loaded my tools into the Subaru, and picked up my final paycheck. By then, the banks were open. I didn't need to engage in any complex financial maneuvers. I simply withdrew all the money from my accounts. I dined in Hagerstown, Maryland, and despite having funds for a few years, job hunting loomed ahead. Sarah and I shared a workaholic streak. I'll surely miss her. Spent some time exploring Luray Caves and booked a room near Whiteville, unsure of my next steps. With no plans, it was Saturday, finding myself at the Chattanooga Aquarium marveling at unfamiliar wildlife. Spending hours there felt tranquil, leading me to decide it was an ideal spot. Purchased a year pass for the aquarium by dinner and found a place to rest a mobile trailer in a park, affordable and functional. First thing Monday, I planned to secure employment. A skilled handyman is rarely jobless, especially when ready to put in the hard work. Could remain incognito until required to renew my driving license or car registration. Will tackle those issues when necessary. Spoke with Gloria late Sunday. Feeling compelled to inform her about the situation, I discovered that Sarah had already notified Gloria. Sarah had been candid with Gloria regarding the incident. She admitted to cheating, I had found out, left, and consequently, she lost her job. I felt sorry for her losing her job, but it seemed to be the price she had to pay. I requested Gloria to update Josh about the matter the next time they conversed. Additionally, I informed her that I would call every month to inquire about her well-being without revealing my location. By the following day at noon, I secured a job. The new workplace was just a short walk from the trailer park, with the Waffle House located midway through the journey. What more could one ask for? It remains unclear how they processed the paperwork, but I was earning $20 per hour without any inquiries. I was content, and my employer seemed equally pleased. Fortunately, I wouldn't need to touch the money I had brought with me. Approximately 2 months later, Gloria shared that Sarah had vacated the house and was residing with her parents. Gloria had limited knowledge, but was pleased that you were content and thriving. Josh phoned from San Diego merely to inform me he was embarking on a cruise. He served as an avionics technician aboard an aircraft carrier. He attempted to clarify his job duties, yet it was beyond my comprehension, given my lack of technical knowledge. Both of them were cautious not to express any negativity about their mother. I valued this discretion. Our interaction with Gloria resumed as usual afterward. We began conversing weekly, and Josh and I started exchanging emails frequently. Gloria often communicated with Sarah regularly, yet she shared little about her activities or location. Neither of us initiated a divorce. It appears Sarah did not either. I obtained a Tennessee driver's license and adorned the Subaru with Tennessee tags. I frequented one of the local bars a couple times per month, eventually finding companionship there on occasion. Two women alternated as my regular evening companions. They didn't seek commitment, and neither did I. Everything had been going smoothly for everyone. Life was good. That was a while ago, and I gradually forgot about Sarah. Later, Subaru caused me problems. I couldn't remember how long it had been. It exceeded 200,000 miles. One day, as I sipped beer, I realized that nearly 5 years had passed since I left home. I stayed in close contact with both children. By then, Gloria had her own 2 kids and invited me to visit them. Josh was on the verge of marrying a Thai woman, but he ultimately changed his mind at the last minute. I usually worked 6 days a week, using Sundays to recover from Saturday nights. There was no valid reason for someone knocking on my trailer door at 6 in the morning on a Friday. Their rudeness was met with a half-dressed man opening the door. Day jockey shorts are unappealing, and the woman at the door, based on her expression, seemed to agree. However, her companion did not seem impressed. Typically, I would opt for pants, but today, your presence grated on me. We're searching for John Turrell. I don't recognize you. My name is David Simmons, and this is my wife, Marcia. We have an issue, and we're hoping you can assist us. I apologize profusely. I don't operate under the cover of darkness. If you require assistance with your vehicle, you'll need to visit a store. This comment prompted several bewildered gazes before a response was given. It has no connection to your employment. It's more of a personal predicament. May we enter? The trailer within appeared disheveled. I seldom receive guests, thus it remains untidy most of the time. Even my companions often preferred their homes over mine. Feel free to explore. Let me slip into some pants swiftly. Upon entering the bedroom, I kept the door ajar. To demonstrate my gracious hospitality, I also donned a shirt. Would you care for some coffee? Preparation should take around 10 minutes. I relocated several items from the couch to make seating available. The question regarding coffee was left unanswered. A 4.5-year-old girl we adopted requires a bone marrow transplant, and we are seeking your assistance. We are prepared to compensate you for any inconvenience. Use my bone marrow instead of purchasing it. No, we aim to utilize it. I apologize if my previous words were misleading. I didn't realize the gravity of the situation until now. Please carry on with your request. Our daughter's best chance of finding a compatible donor is among relatives. You are our only viable option. Here, let me show you. I must admit, I may have come off as flippant, but it seems I misunderstood your intentions. When is her birthday? She turns 5 in July. Marcia Simmons spoke earnestly for the first time. Unfortunately, I have to inform you that I underwent a vasectomy 15 years ago, which makes me unable to be her biological father. How did my name end up on her birth certificate? I regret that I cannot disclose that information. Perhaps you should consult her mother instead. The remark prompted silence. I empathized with these individuals, but was unsure how to aid them. What is Sarah Louise Terrell's mother's name? My remorse grew as I questioned my actions of taking those pills from her. Had I not done so, those people wouldn't have lost their daughter. I thought I had moved past grief, yet it returned. Memories resurfaced of my wife's infidelity with that Philadelphia politician. I had managed to push these memories aside, but they were back now. Damn it. I now recognize and apologize for my inconsiderate behavior. I will make every effort to assist you. To start, why can't Sarah undergo a bone marrow transplant? Medically, she cannot. Why not? Because as a mother, she needs to be a suitable donor, but her health prevents it. She is a match, yet she's too ill for the doctors to even consider using her. Sick? With what? She's suffering from liver failure and has less than 6 months to live. This situation defies logic as she had always been in excellent health. Apart from what I mentioned earlier, I'm uncertain if her ailing liver would prevent her from donating bone marrow. The hospital won't accept her signature on the consent form. Are you suggesting there's some confusion regarding her mental state? They both remained quiet, aware of the response yet reluctant to voice it. In that instant, I didn't wish to heighten their discomfort further. Earlier, I had no concern for them, but now I felt compelled to shield and assist them. How did this transpire? Could any of my children lend a hand? Perhaps, but we considered you our best option. Why don't you seek out your biological father instead? We believed it was you. We are clueless about anyone else it could be. Sarah never disclosed any other potential father figure. In truth, she was far from capable of clarifying anything. Marcia added, most of our information came from the adoption agency. I needed to get some coffee and use the restroom. Could you excuse me for a brief moment? I stepped away from my guests while I prepared the coffee. It didn't take long. During its preparation, I took a necessary morning break to use the restroom, attempting to remain inconspicuous as I didn't want to add more distress to Marcia. Where do you reside? Westchester, Pennsylvania. I propose a bargain. If I reveal your daughter's biological father to you, you must vow to persistently chase him until you obtain what you desire. What are you discussing? Your daughter's father is a prominent Pennsylvania politician. He will likely deny any involvement and may provide you with legal documentation to halt your pursuit. If you agree to relentlessly press him for admitting paternity, you can embarrass him into undergoing a bone marrow transplant. Isn't that what you want? Yes, I understand, but how do we make it happen? I am a mechanic. I work with metal as my profession. I believe the most effective method would be to leverage television, radio, and newspapers. Politicians tend to avoid negative publicity at all costs. Do you know anyone who could assist us? At this point, they were both grinning. It appears I've given them some encouragement. I believe we can accomplish this. Who is this man? Malcolm Eugene Foote. He's vying for a Senate seat. I predict he'll go to great lengths to dodge negative press. Coffee was prepared, but David and Marcia couldn't delay their return home. Before they departed, I informed them how to reach Gloria and Josh should they need assistance. I was certain they would oblige. I also requested information on Sarah's whereabouts. By the time they returned to Westchester, I would likely be in Pensacola. I got a haircut and purchased a new shirt. Sarah may have wrecked my life with her infidelity, but I still desired to appear presentable when I saw her again. Instead, it was another trailer, yet this one was newer and double-sized. Her Volvo was parked there, sporting a flat tire and shattered windshield. The woman who emerged from the door wasn't Sarah. She appeared to have endured a beating and been left soaking wet. Estimated age, at least 45, possibly 50, suggesting a difficult existence. Her lack of makeup did not enhance her appearance. John Terrell was unexpectedly the one I encountered. I didn't foresee your presence here. The situation is putting me at a disadvantage. Welcome, Sherry Hart, dear. Could I offer you a drink? No, thank you for asking. I came to see Sarah. Sherry made her way across the room towards the dining room buffet. Here she is, John. Feel free to admire her. She was pointing at an empty brass urn in the center of the buffet. Seems like I arrived too late. I remained motionless, just staring at the container before me. May I have a drink now? After leaving, Sarah moved to Pensacola following the adoption of her child. With the money she received from Bixler Enterprises upon termination, she purchased a trailer. Along with profit share, 401k, and accrued vacation and sick leave, she managed to secure the property. She eventually found employment at a local textile factory in the shipping department, where she met Sherry. Sarah rented a room to Sherry, all her earnings going towards alcohol consumption. Initially consuming wine and then transitioning to cheaper, stronger alcohols, Sarah ultimately lost her job due to her drinking habits and resorted to using her savings. She never engaged in dating or socializing. Instead, her friend Sherry took care of her bills, purchased food she wouldn't eat, and it took Sarah over 3 years to take her own life. Remarkably, she had a will and left a double trailer and a Volvo to someone else. According to Sherry, Sarah was deeply troubled by her actions and seemed devoid of ambition or purpose in life. She discussed the other person me frequently, but hesitated to attempt contacting them. Gloria provided this person's number to Sarah, but she never reached out. It seemed as though Sarah's one-night affair had caused her more pain than it did to me. Spanned over 2 weeks, I sold Sherry's trailer for a solitary $1 and pocketed $1,000 from the Volvo. In the subsequent 2 days, I found myself in Westchester, meeting my new companions, David and Marcia. Malcolm Eugene Foote initially resisted, but under their persistent persuasion, he relented. He demanded DNA tests, which verified his paternity. To salvage his reputation, he was essentially coerced into undergoing a bone marrow transplant, which turned out to be successful. Malcolm's political career and personal life left much to be desired, leading to a rapid downfall in the polls and eventually replacing him with another candidate mere months before the election. His wife publicly filed for divorce. Currently, Sarah and I are en route to Dallas to catch up with Gloria and my grandchildren. The duration of Sarah's stay with me is uncertain, likely until I find a replacement.